Have you ever wished someone dead? I mean really dead. As in, if you caught the phone call with the bad news, you'd actually be pleased. Oh, it's nothing you haven't heard before. When it comes to an elderly parent, I just want to be put out of my misery. No. My son Robert graduates today. He's worked so very hard. Mathematics, no less. Not that I'm going. Derek's going with Rosemary. I don't think we can be trusted to sit next to each other for 2 hours. And the sherry and cake and whatever they have afterwards nowadays. No, it's Robert's day. He doesn't want it spoiled. I have graciously withdrawn. He owes me though. Derek, I mean. Anyway, I can't go today. I'm with Mum. Well, I will be this afternoon. Carers are with her now, getting her ready to face the day. I'm doing her hair though. They can't do her hair. I told them leave her hair. They tried once. She looked like she'd been dragged through an edge. No. She'll only allow me to do it. She says the carers don't take care when they pull out the knots, you see. I take care. I have the knack. I draw the line at her feet, though. Oh, I tried once. I said, Mum, I can't. She just looked down at me and she said, it's a good job I love you. She used to say that when I was little. It's a good job I love you. Anyway, a nice girl from Oral does them. Carers, do you know, the council said that they wouldn't pay for Mum's feet because it didn't fall within Mum's care package. I said, don't worry, I'll absorb the cost myself. Social worker on the phone called her Mam. Most of the healthcare professionals, they call her Mam. I once made a joke about how our Mam must have been very busy in the 60s, what with all these children she's got dotted about the place. She didn't laugh. Maybe she didn't get joke. Maybe I should have said the 70s. Women don't like me. Men do. Perhaps that's been part of the problem. Mr. Shortford gave Mum a diagnosis. Oh, I liked him. Very capable, very dashing. Oh yes, I could have listened to him for hours. I was right in the middle of my divorce with Derek then. Oh, solicitors, letters, emails, texts. Do you know, we were arguing over the caravan. He was trying to use it as a bargaining chip. I said I wouldn't go back there if you paid me so you can have it with my pleasure. Especially when I found out he'd been up there with her. No. I suppose our Robert, he must have some happy memories of the place, but I just saw it as another thing to clean. Oh, do you know, Derek, he represented himself in court. I were on legal aid, so I was represented by some spotty boy with a lisp. Derek ran rings around him. What did he call himself? Oh yes, a litigant in person, that was it. Oh, I just settled. I was so exhausted. Derek didn't rub it in. He got a first, you know, from Durham no less. Oh, they had sherry and cake at his graduation, so his mother kept reminding me. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, Mr. Shawfro, the consultant, Mother's diagnosis. He leaned forward and he said, do you have feelings of paranoia? Do you feel as though everyone is trying to steal from you? I said, oh yes I do, Doctor, all the time. And then there was this pause. And then he turned to me and he said, Mrs. Green, that question was for ma'am. Oh, I didn't know where to put myself. Mr. Chopra put a reassuring hand on me. Practice nurse just glared. Mr. Chopra's married. Well, anyway, it wouldn't matter if he was single. He is well above my pay grade, I'm sorry to say. No. Plenty of fish for me. Have you ever been on? If you want my advice, don't bother. Oh, so the main thing is, with ma'am, I'm not on me own. There's my brother Jeff. Oh yes, he is very supportive. He lives the other side of Pennines. He comes over when he can. He's busy with his own life. He's an area manager. He's got a degree in business management. I lent him my book on Machiavelli. I'm still waiting for it back. Oh yes. He travels all over, flying up and down the M1. Never met his wife. They're married in the Maldives. He tells me she's a massive eBayer. The man from Parcelforce is never away, apparently. I wouldn't know. I like to do my shopping in the high street. Take mum out in her wheelchair. Gets us both out, you see. Once she's had her hair done and her feet, she's like a new woman. She's raring to go. Oh yes, do you know, she's got this special telephone with just one big button. It's got a picture of me on it, you know. Just the one button. So if ever she needs something, she just pokes my face. So, I've got this flat. And I've got the money from my share of the house that's tiding me over. My barrister, he looked about 14. He went for, what did he call it? Oh yes, ancillary relief, that was it, or spousal maintenance as it's known. Oh, Derek ran rings around him because he made a complete ash of it. Anyway, I don't agree with that. People should stand on their own 2 feet, Derek is, so why can't I? And Rosemary's got a good income. Oh yes, she's an area manager. Well, no, sorry, that's Jeff. Rosemary, no, she's a senior administrator in an HE college. She runs. They both run. They go to the lakes and run. They go to Lanzarote and run. The only place they don't run to is the caravan. Well, there's no need now, is there? Still, they're happy. That's the main thing. Rosemary's a nice woman, I've met her. Oh, yes, he could have done worse. Few times we've met, she's given me this smile like she was sad. You know what I mean? One of those sad smiles. I'd rather she spat in me eye. Me mum met me dad when he'd come up from Surrey to read history at Manchester. She worked in haberdashers. Oh, they were inseparable. She had this glorious auburn hair that she used to pile up and then let fall like some Edwardian countess. In all the years that I lived at home, I only remember them rowing once. They were over miners' strike. Do you know, Mother said that Mrs. Thatcher were right to stand up to Mr. Scargill. Dad walked out. Oh yes, he left home. He got the train down to Guildford, stayed with his sister Rita. Now Rita, she wore a caftan and she smoked cheroots. So you can imagine which side of the picket line she preferred to stand. But don't think Mother was the put-upon wife. Oh no. She didn't go to university, but she read. She played chess. Yeah. Oh, Dad could have played, but he didn't because, to be honest, he couldn't stand to be beaten. I remember he played her once she won. Well, she didn't win. he conceded just before the end game. I remember her sitting and hissing, and don't even think of that as a draw. Oh yes. Do you know, she used to go out every Wednesday night to play in tournaments, and at the club they were always asking her to go down to London, play there, represent them, but no, she wouldn't have it. She said she weren't interested. I played her a few times. She let me win. I wanted her to teach me, but Dad said, no, Karen love, that's your mum's thing. You play in school. So I did. I got to be quite good. Never as good as Mum, though. No, Dad always said her mind was sharper than his. Crosswords. Oh, she loved crosswords. She just loved words. Do you know, she even started setting them. I mean, not the easy ones, the cryptic ones. Happy aardvark eats muesli. You know, that kind of thing. Oh, her mind was sharp as a tack. I remember once, she kept... Oh, shall I be Mum? I'm sorry. Mum? Mum, oh, Mum, turn the receiver round. You've got it the wrong way. Oh, that's better. Mum? What's the matter? Oh, don't cry. Don't cry, Mum. You are home. You're in your own home. Now look at the pictures. Can you see our Jeff? Can you see me? Yeah, that is Robert. Yeah, he's very handsome. Where's Derek? Oh, you remember him, of course. Mum, have the carers been? Has the nice girl been and done your feet? Your feet, Mum, have they done your feet? Mum, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go. Mum, you just hang on there, all right? Mum, please, I'm coming. Just wait, all right? I'll get them as quick as I can. Oh. Mum? Derek sent me some pictures of Robert's graduation. He does look lovely. He's got fur round his collar, you know, round here, round his gown. Russell Group, you see. Mum can hardly walk now. She can't read the paper anymore either. All she does is sit and watch Jeremy Kyle and Escape to the Country. That's all I do now. I sit next to Mum and I watch Escape to the Country. Escape to the Country. Do you know, the other afternoon I were there for an hour watching some pair of smug southerners deciding whether they wanted to spend £500,000 on some tatty barn. And I turned round to Mum and she was fast asleep. And I thought to myself, I would have been better doing something else. Reading. I got my love of reading from Mum. Do you know, when I was little, every time I went to Mum, she always had her head in a book. Oh, Dad used to sneer at her bookshelf. Catherine Cookson, May Vinchy, Whimsy for housewives, he called it. Mother never took him on. Nah, she just sat there with her game of chess. I was clever at school. Not as clever as our Jeff, but maybe that was because he was encouraged. I went to stay with him once in Loughborough. Oh, that gave me a taste. I remember sitting in this bar and I got chatting to this boy. Oh, he was so full of life, so intense, you know. Gave me a buzz, a tingle. And then right in the middle of my A-levels, Dad died. He were me God. So I thought. Anyway, Mother took herself off to bed for a year. She was destroyed. I couldn't go and leave her, could I? I couldn't go. I mean, one minute there were 4 of us, perfect family, and the next minute there's just Mam dressed in black like Queen Victoria. No, I told myself I'll just wait a year, you know, go a year later. Once Mam's back, got herself back on her feet. Jeff stayed a week after the funeral and then off he went. Well, he was in the middle of exams, he couldn't stay. And then I met Derek. Oh, he was so clever, so dynamic. He wooed me, I suppose, so I didn't go. But don't think I was put upon wife. Oh, no, we travelled all over. All I remember is heat and light, you know. Even in places like Morocco, America, it was all the same, heat and light. That's all. Oh, yes. And Derek, lying next to me in the tent, pouring. Anyway, that's that. It's all in the past. I would like to meet someone. Someone who understands what being a full-time carer is like. How it seeps into your body, into your bones like, oh God, like wind chill in winter. So, plenty of fish. Started when I was at Mum's. Something to do, I suppose. Plenty of fish, plenty of fools, more like. Oh, God. Chatting to men with me dongle. I gave up after a while. Men are such, yeah. Do you know, there was this one night, I was chatting to this guy till the early hours. He told me all about his life and I told him all about mine. I really thought we were getting somewhere, you know, making a connection. And then out of the blue, he goes and types, "What are you wearing?" Took a few moments for it to sink in. What am I wearing? Oh. And then I thought about it, so I typed back, "What am I wearing? I'll tell you what I'm wearing. I am wearing an expression of complete irritation. Now fuck off!" Started looking at homes for Mam. I've been putting it off as long as I can. Can you imagine? And the house. Her house is still in her name, so they'll take that. I mentioned it when I did power of attorney, you know, about putting house in mine and Jeff's names, oh, she wouldn't have it. She said, no, or not over my dead body. She said, Karen, what if you and Derek get a divorce? Then I'll have a claim on my house. She said, your father will turn in his grave. This is my house and that's that. Oh, she was right though, weren't she? I mean, imagine Derek grabbing half me half. God, father really would have turned in his grave. He would have seen right through Derek. Whereas mother adored him. Oh, that's what it means, doesn't it, you know? That's what it means to be free. Because, I'll explain, Jeff, my brother, he said I can have his half. He says he doesn't want it when the time comes, you know, when man passes. So that's good of him. But I mean, I should think so, because you should see their house. Looks amazing, just outside Pontefract. I mean, not that I've been there, but I've seen pictures on Facebook. His wife, she posts them every time she has something done. She's got one of these Cheshire housewife tans and these white teeth. She looks like she were in pantomime. That's what freedom means, isn't it? It's worth more than money to people. Give a prisoner £1 million, what's he going to do with it? He can't go anywhere, he can't spend it. So what our Jeff is really saying, because Mum's house is not worth much, I mean, I don't know, about 120, that's all. So our Jeff is really saying £60,000 is worth nought if it means I have to lift a finger to help you, Karen. Anyway, we are privileged, oh yes. He came over yesterday to visit. Oh, Mum was so excited. She sent me out to get cake and cream for his coffee. Isn't it lovely how she still has some lovely memories? Anyway, I weren't there to greet him. I had ironing to catch up on. So, he goes and texts me. He says, Karen, he says, what's happened to Mum's hair? It's all gone. I said, I know. I had it cut. All cut off. And then he texted again. He said, it's been hacked off. So I text back. I said, I know. I did it with her scissors. I said, don't worry. I'm sending her to the hairdressers. I'll take her there myself next week. I'll get it all tidied up. So then he texted again. He said, what will you do if they ask? I said, I don't know. I'll just say she did it. Does it really matter? And then I text back. I said, if you have a problem with how I look after our Mum, please feel free to take over. I won't mind. But of course he declined me offer and rushed home to his plastic wife. Well, time came. I'd been to see 8 homes. I chose the best one. I mean, that's her right. Don't think I rushed her into it. Oh, no, the decision was taken out of my hands. She had a little fall. Well, nothing major. She just sort of keeled over. So, Mr. Chopra, her social worker, the GP and me, we all sat down and we decided Nome was the best option. Unless, of course, I were to move in with Mum. And then she could stay in her own home, but then it would mean it would just be the 2 of us, you know, me and Mum. Her downstairs in her bed in the living room. with a commode. And me upstairs in the old bedroom, the room I had when I was 18, the room where I first met Derek. So, in the meeting, with the social worker, Mr. Chopra, a GP and me, I said that although me moving in with Mam was indeed an option, personally, I would rather play my favourite Chopin piano concerto, run a warm bath, open my wrists and bleed out. I visit every day. Sometimes she's actually civil. Most of the time she thinks I'm her mother. And she sits there complaining about me, how I'm such a spoilt little madam, how she wishes she'd never had me, how our Jeff is not a bit of trouble. Oh, it's quite illuminating. The nurse says, oh, don't worry, love, it's just the Alzheimer's talking. I'm not so sure. And then sometimes she has these moments of complete clarity, when just for a few seconds she understands and realises the horror of where she is and what I have done to her. Those are the most difficult moments of all. Do you know, there's this lady, she must be nearly 90. She sits next to Mam and they're giving her this baby doll. She sits there cooing at it, you know. She smiles at me every time I go. Mam's staying alive out of spite, I'm sure of it. Oh, guilt, anger, hatred, resentment, back to guilt. Oh, God, it takes it out of you, I can tell you. I don't have to go there, you know. I don't have to do any of it. Sorting out her house, her life, her whole things, everything. I mean, there's no compulsion in law, is there? I could go away tomorrow and not give it a second thought. I don't have to do it, just as Jeff doesn't have to do it, doesn't do any of it. But all of us, we only have one Mam, don't we? So, God, what I'm leading up to is this one afternoon. Doctor had been and he'd given Mam a clean bill of health. You know, he said blood pressure's okay, everything's fine. But he said it with this smile as though he was sad. He said, everything's fine. I don't know what came over me. I got this feeling, this intense rush. Because all I could hear once he'd gone was the tick, tick, tick of the mahogany clock on the shelf. I brought it in, you see, from home because you're allowed to bring things in, you know, try and give a personal touch, makes them settle in. It was a wedding present from her mother, 1963, it says on the back. I used to wind that up when I was little. It was one of my little jobs. And Doctor had gone. And I looked at Mam and she was lying there fast asleep. Her hands were cold, her teeth were out, she was flat on her back. She had her hair off her forehead, you know. She looked like she was floating underwater. She looked dead. And this feeling came over me like tunnel vision. And I didn't even go and check in the corridor, but I took the pillow and I just held it over her. And then very, very very slowly and carefully, I brought it down over Mum's face. And I waited. And I thought, what if I go to prison? But then I thought, what's the difference? So I just waited. And all I could hear was the tick, tick, tick of the mahogany clock on the shelf. And then I felt this tap, tap, tap. She were tapping me on my forearm, just here, just below my elbow. Just like she used to when she were little. She weren't struggling. But then the tapping got a little more urgent, and I thought, oh Christ, oh Christ. And then the tapping stopped. And I took Bill away. And her eyes were open. And she had this smile, or maybe it were a grimace, I don't know. And she breathed out. And I thought, oh God, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And then she breathed in. And out. And in again. So off we went again. And she looked up at me. And in the weakest of voices she said, "It's a good job I love you." And I looked up. The clock had stopped. You see, that's the trouble with institutions. There's no personal touch. They do the best they can, but you see, no one had wound the clock up. So I put pillow back, and I went and got the key, and I wound the clock up. And then I went downstairs and I made a cup of tea. They rang Jeff because they couldn't get through to me. So Jeff called and he started. He said, "Mams." He couldn't go on. I said, "Jeff, will you stop whinging? I can't make head nor tail." And he told me. Put the phone down. Then he rang back and he said, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm fine, I'm perfectly fine, just as Mum was when I visited her only yesterday." Then he called me cold bitch and slammed the phone down. Then he called back and he said, "Oh, it must be the shock." He said, "Don't worry, I'll take care of funeral costs." So that's that. He came over, he was dead busy, ringing the funeral directors, sorting out the care home, solicitors, all of it. He was very good. It was all done with such an urgency. He was only up for the week. He had to get back for some conference in Harrogate. Anyway, we went straight to Creme. Derek was there with Rosemary. Robert, he did cry. He delivered a lovely eulogy. It was very moving. Then we came back here for the wake. Well, there's room enough in my little flat to remember my mother's life. Jeff brought his own bedding, which some might take as an insult, but there we have it. I finally met his wife. Oh, Not a line on her face, mind you, not one line. She took me by the hand and she said, Karen, if Jeff and I, if there's anything we can do, you just tell us. Just give us a call. So I said, right, well, for starters, you can come back here Saturday morning, 9 a.m. sharp, let's make a start on Mum's house. Well, you should have seen the look on her face. I couldn't tell if she were ecstatic or mortified. They didn't come back, needless to say. But I did get an email from Jeff saying he would be taking his share of Mum's house after all. Well, it was his right, you know, he was entitled to it by law. What did his wife say when I spoke to the two of them on the phone after that email? Oh, yes, she said, Karen, Jeff loved Mum just as much as you in his own way. So I couldn't argue with that, could I? So, after the care fees, you know, and the funeral fees and the solicitors and all of that, my share comes to just under £26,000, so there we have it. Anyway, why should anyone else pay for my mother? As Derek keeps saying, people should stand on their own 2 feet. Jeff's wife, she's posted a picture of the two of them on Facebook, oh yes. Blue skies, brown faces, white teeth. What does the caption say? Oh, yes. Jeff and I, after our family tragedy, recovering on our second honeymoon in the Maldives. So that's nice, isn't it? They've obviously moved on. And so am I. I am moving on. I'm doing an access course at Edgehill. And then I am going to do a degree in English. Yeah, there's a Facebook group for freshers. Can you imagine me? I'm a fresher. I've got chatting to this guy called Mark. He's starting the course too. He lives in Surrey and he looked after his dad for many, many years. And he had a sister who didn't do a thing, so we've got something in common. Anyway, we were chatting the other night, and out of the blue I asked him, I said, did he ever wish his father dead? And he went silent. And I thought, that is a dreadful thing to think, let alone ask. But then he typed, it is only when someone has walked a day in our shoes that they can understand, really understand what it's like. And then he typed, what are you wearing? Honestly, what is it with you men? So do you know what I typed back? What am I wearing? Huh. I'll tell you, Mark, what I'm wearing. I am wearing a smile.